Hello, in this video we will discuss about the spleen physiology. So basically the spleen is the part of lymphatic system we will discuss in this video, and we will also understand the anatomical aspect as well as their physiology. So let's begin to understand. So here is a person which contain digestive system and the fundus region of the stomach which contain a spleen side is the spleen are present in the left side looking like this, and the green color shows that axillary lymph nodes which that is nodes are present and the lymph duct, and here is the liver and here is the large intestine. This large intestine is looking like this, and on the other hand the lower diaphragm ribs uh, rib 11 and 12, basically 12 and 11, which that is the special part for spleen region. So in this way, here is the front view of the abdominal organ, which that is you are seeing, you are watching in the video. So let's begin to understand the spleen with the diagram, the bigger picture, to understand their structure. So basically here is you can see this is the spleen is the cross section inside, and you can see that is the artery and vein. It is known as the splenic artery and splenic vein, and in this way the splenic artery and splenic vein which provide the nutrients as well as the circulation. So the importance of the spleen we will also understand. So here is the 7 to 8 centimeter is the wider, while the length is 5 inches or 12 to 13 centimeter, and on the other hand the 2 ounces is their weight. It means that 200 gram, and the thickness 1 inch, it is equal to 2.5 centimeter. So let's begin to understand another things we should understand, that is the spleen is the largest organ of lymphatic system. So basically it is the largest organ of the lymphatic system. Why? Because the thymus gland is basically little as compared to the spleen. So the lymphatic system composed of lymph nodes, lymph vessels, and the thymus gland, and the help to fight body infection. So when body infection will be occur, so the T cell will be produced and the B lymphocyte will be activated by this mechanism. On this stage here is you can see that is the location of the spleen. Here is the pancreas, which that is lie behind the duodenum. So in this way here is the aorta, which provides the new oxygenated blood toward the splenic artery, and in this way the superior portal vein and the inferior portal vein, and this is the spleen. So the superior portal vein and inferior portal vein looking like this, and in this way the left kidney is here you can see, and left um, gastropyploic artery are present, and here is you can see the portal vein, and this is the left gastric artery. So here is the duodenum, and in this way here is the basically descending aorta. So you can see that is the superior mesenteric vein is also present. This is the superior mesenteric vein. Why? Because it is move upward for the deoxygenated blood toward the heart. So that is mean the superior. So function of spleen we will discuss about. So the blood cleansing, it means the clean of the blood by a pathogen and red blood cells. So the phagocytes removes debris, bacteria, virus, toxin, and foreign matter, and all defective blood cells and platelets. So in this way, the lymphocytes production, WBC, and immunoglobulin are grown, reproduced, and secreted to aid the immune system in fighting against the infection. So that is important thing is that the immunoglobulin is also produced, as well as other things we will discuss in this video with that detail. So in this way here is you can see the platelets are present in the circulatory system, and it is known as the thrombocytes also. Basically it will go into the spleen, and the residence of the spleen contain 1/3 of platelets sequestered in spleen. Residence of the spleen, and it's used for the coagulation of the blood. So remember about that. Let's draw a cross-sectional area of the spleen. Here is the cross-section area of the spleen, which that is looking at. Here is the splenic artery, which provides the oxygenated blood toward the spleen, while the on the other hand, here is you can see this is the brown color is showing in the figure, which that is known as the central sheath. It is also the uh, periarterial periarterial lymphatic sheath. It is also known as the lymphatic tissue, and that is the major tissue. It's composed of the white pulp. So this is the white pulp composing the 25%. We will discuss also the other things. So the important thing is there, here is the circular area is known as the marginal zone, and it is basically contain a macrophage. In this way, the marginal zone contain a macrophage and the follicle are present. This follicle basically is the marginal zone is here, while here is the follicle. So this is the follicle. Follicle is surrounded on marginal zone contain B cell. So the B cell containing marginal zone, surrounded on marginal zone contain B cell. So the B cell basically are present in the follicle. So the rounded shape is known as a follicle, not a marginal zone, but marginal zone is here. I am drawing here, look like this. So this is the marginal zone, which that is different as compared to the lymphatic tissue. So basically this is the part of lymphatic tissue. This is basically the part of lymphatic tissue. And here you can see the marginal zone contain macrophage. So the marginal zone, what is the marginal zone? Marginal zone is basically marginal zone making white pulp. And in this way, you can see that the marginal zone also contain a follicle. In this diagram, you can understand as well. So in this way, here is the white pulp 25%. And the blue color is showing that the splenic vein. This splenic vein is also made made a venous sinus system. This venous sinus system and the basically cords are present. That is the space between the venous sinus and artery. This is contain a macrophage cords, and this is the red pulp, and this is known as the venous sinus system cords and contain a red pulp. This is the red pulp. Anyhow, let's draw another things. I hope you remember. Hope you getting this concept, that sinus venous system. So this sinus venous system is the part of red pulp. So this is spleen contain two pulp, red pulp and white pulp. Red pulp contains 75%, while the white pulp contains 25%. So red pulp, why? Because it's contain a high space. On the other hand, the white pulp is 25% because it's contain a macrophage, T cells and follicle. So basically sinus venous system is basically used for the perforation and the filtration of the red blood cell, and the old red blood cell will be not move again back into the sinus venous system to not move into the splenic vein. So in this way the macrophage will engulf and destroy. So red pulp contains 75%, spleen has white and red pulp, and the white pulp contain a 25% in ratio. So let's draw a basically white pulp. White pulp are present here. You can see in this diagram. So the white pulp also contain follicle, and this follicle is basically the also marginal zone, marginal zone and marginal zone and the follicle, as well as the periarterial lymphocyte sheath is known as the T cell. So the T cell. So let's draw here is you can see in this diagram to understand as well. I hope you're getting the concept, and this is the graphic for the white pulp. And in this way you can see this is the central artery, and the central artery is basically provide the dendritic cell, antigen and something and red blood cell. So when go the red blood cell into the follicle, so here is you can see this is the marginal zone, and this is marginal zone contain a follicle. This follicle is contain a follicular B cell. B cell is basically used for the production of antibodies as well as the we will discuss also to understand. So here the marginal zone, and here is a peri-arterial lymphocyte sheath. This peri-arterial lymphocyte sheath contain T cells. So this peri-arterial lymphocyte sheath contain T cell. These T cell are present between the marginal zone and the central artery. So this is the B cell and are present in the follicle, and this is the blue color shows that follicle, and the follicle contain B cell. So remember about that. This is the B cell, naive B cell. It is inactive, and this is the naive B cell is the precursor of the B memory cell and plasma cell. So let's begin to understand. Here is the T lymphocyte or T cell. It is also inactivate, but it is activated by the dendritic cell. Dendritic cell will recognize the antigen and get the antigen from any area of the blood circulatory system to move into the peri-arterial lymphocyte sheath, and will move into the peri-arterial lymphocyte sheath to recognize with the T cell. And after the T cell receptor are present, and in this way the recognition to activate T cell, and this T cell basically the T cell convert and differentiate into the CD4 T cell and CD8, but the CD4 T cell is used for the activation of the follicular B cell. This follicular B cell will be activated to produce plasma cell and B memory cell. This plasma cell and B memory cell. While here the marginal zone, this marginal zone contain a macrophage. This macrophage is basically the metallophilic macrophage. This normal or metallophilic macrophage. Metallophilic macrophage we will discuss later in this video. So here is you can see this B memory cell produce the antibodies which that is against the specific antigen. It can be immunoglobulin IgM, which that is basically initial, or IgG, basically is the main immunoglobulin. These immunoglobulin will attack the antigen to destroy by macrophage. So I hope you are getting this concept. This was the white pulp. Let's begin to understand the red pulp. Red pulp is looking like from here, the tip of the artery, tip of the capillary. So in this way, basically the terminal capillary. This is the terminal capillary, and it is here is the cords. This cords is basically here you can see. This is the terminal capillary. So the terminal capillary will provide the red blood cell, and in this way, the red blood cell is basically either healthy or non-healthy. We will discuss also, and if non-healthy, so that will be destroyed. And in this way that we will discuss also. Here is you can see the venous sinus system. This venous sinus system is used for the filtration of the red blood cell. So this filtration of the red blood cell we will discuss also. So in this way, here is the metallophilic macrophage. It is the iron recycle. It is used for the iron recycle. So here is the, on the other hand, here important thing is that, so this is the slit. This slit is allowed to move the red blood cell into the cords, and when go into the cords, it will be move if the healthy, so go into the sinus venous, while if not healthy, so in this way the abnormal shape will not move and macrophage will engulf. For example, the volume will be decreased, so the healthy red blood cell. When the volume will be increased, so the unhealthy red blood cell and old. So in this way the red blood cell will not move due to the slit is narrow. So here you can see the macrophage will engulf the red blood cell, and in this way you can see the macrophage will play a different function. This is the metallophilic macrophage, and it is also known as the used for the iron recycle from the hemoglobin. So how it's possible? Here is you can see the macrophage. This macrophage is contain a senescence marker are present in the red blood cell. After this marker, we recognize the peri-arterial, uh, will go into the phagosome, and after the phagosome basically convert dissociation of the iron, hemoglobin dissociate into the iron, porphyrin and globin. These three type of the hemoglobin, iron, porphyrin and globin, will porphyrin will convert into the bilirubin and convert ultimately bile, and the on the other hand the globin will convert into the return to amino acid pool. So the amino acid pool, so you can see in this way. So it's stored as ferritin or hemosiderin, which that is picked by the transferritin and move into the bone marrow for the bone formation, and for the red blood cell, again new red blood cell production. So in this way the spleen physiology basically is the structure.